formerly known as the Port of Elizabeth, Gqeberha, the friendly city of South Africa. It hugs the South African coast where the Indian Ocean crashes against rugged shores, a place of breathtaking sunsets and vibrant energy. But behind this captivating facade, Port Elizabeth carries a legacy of struggle and resilience. Born from colonial ambition, it witnessed the scars of apartheid. Townships like KwaZulu, Motherwell, Zwede, and New Brighton stand as testaments to this turbulent past. Yet through it all, the spirit of Port Elizabeth's people has never been broken. Generations have poured their hearts into this city, building a rich cultural tapestry. Music echoes in the streets, carrying the rhythms of struggle and hope. Every corner whispers stories of triumph and hardship. Today, Port Elizabeth stands at a crossroads, its future hanging in the balance. The fight for freedom has given way to a new battleground, one against crime and inequality. The Eastern Cape, Port Elizabeth's home, grapples with a harsh reality. Crime statistics paint a bleak picture, casting a long shadow over the province. The numbers are stark, reflecting a surge in violent crime that has gripped communities in fear. Murders, assaults, robberies, these are not just statistics. They are stories of lives shattered and families torn apart. The fear is palpable, seeping into everyday life. Behind closed doors, families live in fear. Parents walk their children to school, their hearts heavy with worry. The elderly, once revered, become targets of opportunity. The carefree laughter of children playing in the streets is replaced by a haunting silence. Port Elizabeth, once a beacon of hope, finds itself grappling with a crisis that threatens to consume its spirit. In the heart of Port Elizabeth, the townships of KwaZulu, Motherwell, Zwede, and New Brighton bear witness to the human cost of this crime wave. Life here has always been a struggle, marked by poverty and inequality. But now the threat of violence adds another layer of complexity. Foreigners who run a small spaza shop live in constant fear. They tirelessly to provide for the communities, they offer services too. Yet the threat of robbery hangs over like a dark cloud. Young boys like Duma, full of dreams and aspirations, are lured into gangs, promised a sense of belonging and protection. The cycle of violence perpetuates, trapping them in a web of despair. These are not isolated incidents. They are the everyday realities for many in Port Elizabeth's townships. The fight for survival has taken on a new urgency, demanding attention and action. The impact of this crime wave extends far beyond the immediate victims. It tears at the very fabric of society, eroding trust and creating a climate of fear. Communities, once bound by a shared history and resilience, are becoming fragmented. Businesses are reluctant to invest, fearing for the safety of their employees and their assets. Tourism, a vital source of income, suffers as visitors are deterred by safety concerns. The cycle of poverty and crime becomes self-perpetuating, trapping communities in a downward spiral. The very soul of Port Elizabeth, its vibrant spirit, its sense of community, is under threat. Section 5. A call to action, Yusuf Qasim and the fight for Port Elizabeth's soul. In the face of this crisis, voices of courage and determination are rising. Yusuf Qasim, a prominent figure in Port Elizabeth, has become a vocal advocate for change, demanding urgent intervention from authorities. He recognizes that this is not just a law enforcement issue, it is a societal issue that requires a multi-pronged approach. Qasim's call to action resonates with many, urging a collective effort to reclaim Port Elizabeth's streets and restore hope to its people. His message is clear. This is not the time for apathy or complacency. The future of Port Elizabeth hinges on the willingness of its citizens to stand together and demand change. Section 6. Vulnerability in the crosshairs, women and children bear the brunt. Tragically, as is often the case in such situations, women and children bear the brunt of this crime wave. They become the most vulnerable targets, subject to horrific acts of violence and abuse. Statistics paint a grim picture. The number of reported cases of gender-based violence and child abuse in the Eastern Cape is alarmingly high. Behind each statistic lies a story of unimaginable pain and suffering. The trauma inflicted upon these victims has far-reaching consequences, impacting their physical and emotional well-being for years to come. It is a scar on the conscience of Port Elizabeth, demanding immediate and sustained action. Section 7. Seeds of Hope community action offers a glimmer of light. Even in the face of such adversity, the spirit of Port Elizabeth refuses to be extinguished. Across the city, seeds of hope are being sown as communities rally together, determined to reclaim their streets and protect their own. Neighborhood watch programs are gaining momentum, with residents taking turns to patrol their streets and look out for one another. Community centers are becoming havens of support, offering counseling services to victims of crime and providing safe spaces for children to learn and play. Civil society organizations are working tirelessly, providing legal aid, raising awareness about gender-based violence, and advocating for better policing strategies. Their efforts, often under-resourced and under-recognized, are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Section 8. Reclaiming the narrative. A call for unity and resilience. Port Elizabeth stands at a crossroads. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, but it is not without hope. The city's future hinges on the collective will of its people, their determination to confront these issues head-on, and their unwavering belief in the power of unity. This is not the time for despair, but for action. It is a time for Port Elizabeth's sons and daughters to rise, to honor the legacy of their forefathers who fought for freedom and justice. Let the spirit of Ubuntu, the African philosophy of shared humanity, guide the way forward. Let compassion, empathy, and unwavering resolve be the driving forces behind every action. This is Port Elizabeth's story to write, a story of resilience, of hope, of a city reclaiming its narrative. The time for change is now.